See, these little torches aren't just for meth heads. Some people actually use them for their intended purpose. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching and liking and clicking, and consider subscribing. It costs $0, so might be worth subscribing for you. The Hijet. So this intro is out of order because well, I'll show you. We're gonna go get the keys, but I screwed up. I accidentally deleted some footage trying to clean up some junk on the computer and all the hard drives and everything else, and there's no really any other excuse for it. I screwed up and I must have deleted some stuff that I hadn't edited yet. So on this Hijet, we were having carburetor issues with the factory unit. We're gonna try and find one. Let's see here. Neutral. Runs pretty good, huh? Yeah, you haven't been up to date on that, but we'll put the box up. Whoops, wrong button. Okay, that is not the factory carburetor. We bought an $80 eBay carburetor and swapped it on here. We were looking around for a couple different carbs and luckily stumbled across the video by Moto Cheese. I'm gonna put a link down here so you know who it is, and we may even link it in the video because it was very helpful to me to see that this could actually work, because we reached out to a couple different vendors for replacement carburetors for these Daihatsus, and one guy was very helpful, gave him my engine model number, gave him my VIN, and he said you have some sort of a third option engine that they don't sell a carburetor for. Well, then we went looking around on the interwebs, found Moto Cheese's video, which is a pretty darn good video, by the way. Go watch it, subscribe to him too. And he had about the setup we had, 1991 Hijet, same issue, except nobody had ruined his carburetor before he got his hands on it. So anyway, we followed kind of in his footsteps, did things a little bit differently, and so I broke a couple cardinal rules. Number one, I deleted footage before I edited it, which I don't know how it happened. Number two, though, I started getting a little bit in deep with my adjustments on the carburetor, and at the time it really wasn't drivable. So guys and gals, if you're gonna go tinkering with your carburetor, get it running, idling, rev it up a little bit, but before you start thinking that things are super lean or super rich, or guesstimating on, in our case, jet sizes, might want to get to the point where you can put it on the road and get a load under it and see how it runs like that. The bottom line is, thing runs great. We adjusted on it some more, tickled the timing just a little bit. We got distributor issues that you'll see in the rest of this video, but we got the hesitation out of it. The only issue now is under full throttle it smokes black, so we got a little, just a tickle aggressive with our drill bit numbers, drilling out the main jet. But that's okay, because we have another one in the factory carburetor. That jet will go into this, and we made sure and sized them. They were both the same size to start with, so we can go back to the start now that this thing will actually pull itself down the road and get a little bit more precise with our jetting. Not too worried about it, but that's where it is. So I'm rambling again. Let's just get to the video. Go watch the rest of this carb install. Appreciate you. See you later. Go watch it. Okay, let's show you where we're at here. Had to run in the house to get another GoPro battery. It's a little chilly today. And GoPro, your batteries in the cold or in the heat. Yeah, here we are. Oops, we can move that like that. Carb installed. Starts, idles beautifully. Now, we are a little warmed up here, so here's our transfer. We're good there. Then we get into accelerator pump and we bog. And I can't get it to go away. So, shut this off. And, you know, eventually we got to get a look inside this distributor anyway. The issue is with it, or the issue with it is, distributor cap has two screws on it. One's here, one's on the other side. Now the one on the other side turned right out. This one, I guarantee you, is going to twist off. I can get almost a quarter turn either direction, and the nubbin down here doesn't turn a bit. So unfortunately, I'm to the point where I need to make sure that we're getting proper vacuum advance. We did put the vacuum gauge on. We've got good ported vacuum from our source. If you remember, the old carburetor had all kinds of vacuum stuff on it. A lot of that was emissions related. We eliminated it, and we ended up with one ported vacuum line that goes to our EGR valve, and then down here to our vacuum advance on the distributor. I want to make sure that we're getting advance in the dang distributor, and it's circulating the electricals like it's supposed to. So I guess what I'm saying is we're going to break this screw off now and hopefully not spend the rest of the night extracting what's left of the screw. Here we go. Wish me luck. I debated whether hand twisting off or impact driver twisting off was better. We're going to go with hand. There it goes. It's broken. Not happy about it, but alright. Here's our cap. There's our screw. We've got some dunkies in there already. Here, let me get move light over here. Got a little bit of yeah. It needed to come off, so we clean it up. That's a good thing. Now let's see what we got going on in there. It looks dirty, to say the least. Okay, here's some good news. We were able to, the screw broke off above flush, so we might be able to get a vice grip on here and carefully put a little bit of heat right here on this lobe and get this screw out yet. We'll see, but at least we can get to this side with the PB and stuff. And then what we'll do after that, or along with that, is let's get rotor off. Inspect on that. Needs cleaned up, not horrible. Okay. And then what we're going to do is hook our vacuum pump up to this canister and see if we've got movement there. I wonder if we can these unplug. Okay. So there's our advance. Let's see if the vacuum pump works that. Okay, it doesn't like that. Let's check our vacuum pump. It holds vacuum here, so something in this housing is not holding a vacuum. Darn it, that's going to be hard to get. So we get just the jump and then it goes back. That's too bad. Well, I mean, I know how to fix. How to get part, I don't know. There's two vacuum. Here, let me show you. I'm not familiar with the Asian Vacuum Advance. There's a place here for a vacuum line, and there's a place here for a vacuum line. Put vacuum to each one of these, and they both pull that Advance. So what we're gonna do a little experimentation here, and we're gonna put vacuum to both of them and see if that'll get us where we want to be. Alright, so I got a T and I just put vacuum lines teed off to where our source line is here, and on the other end I got my pump, and we're pulling on both of those now. Here's the gauge. It's a little slower to fall. Okay, and then in the actual distributor, it doesn't fall back as quick either. And mind you, the engine running might supply enough vacuum, even though this guy obviously isn't holding vacuum. It might get us to where we're happy until we can find a replacement for this. So that's what we're going to try and do next, I think. We got it rigged up. Let's hook it up to the carburetor and see what happens. But before we can do that, we got to get this cap and the rotors and stuff back on here. And we got to get this screw out now. Great. Okay, attempt number one is going to be pretty redneck. We're going to go with two oversized, horribly oversized vice grips on each exposed end of this screw. We gave her a little spritz with the PB, and we're just going to try to go like this. That is not working. This is gonna be bad. So let's stop that now. Let's go here. And we're gonna get a little bit of heat on this guy with the small torch. See, these little torches aren't just for meth heads. Some people actually use them for their intended purpose. Come on. Nope. It is not moving. At this point, yeah, we just want it to break off flush so we can drill. Yay! Oh, you guys, this is not gonna be fun. Just gotta get this drill manipulated. Here we go. Okay, we're through, and that wasn't very good. We're off of our target hole here. So our drill hole was not the straightest. It kind of came out a little bit. However, sometimes just drilling through the seized bolt will release some of the pressure that's making everything grab together. And in this case, even though our hole isn't perfect, our screw is turning now. So, and not too bad. I mean, I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this. So we are going to go ahead and probably try to back this. Oh gosh, I don't know. We'll probably go in with it and pull it in through the hole, and then we're gonna clean all this up and assess, you know, if we've got damages. We should be able to reuse this hole, even though we've drilled through it. It should hold good enough for just a distributor cap, but we'll take a look here once we get what's left of this screw out of here. So right here is our screw. This is what I've been doing for the last 20-25 minutes. I think we're just about out though. Come on. Oh, that was really close. There we go. Oh. Come on. Darn it. There it is. Whew. Oh my gosh. That's the guy right there. That guy. I don't like that guy anymore. So we'll put up there. We'll put it up there. Let's blow all this out of here. And then we gotta go find a screw, which is gonna be metric. That's yeah, that'll go in that hole. Okay, there's our broken piece we got out of there. Here's our screw on the other side, and we found these in our drawer. So I wonder if we can, this will thread through this cap. We're gonna have to probably drill the hole in the cap a little bit bigger because the factory screw has a small neck on it, and then the threads are what kind of keeps it in the cap. We're just gonna drill that out so our bolt goes right through, I think. But we have the right screw, I think. Here, let's put it in here and make sure that it fits that nice. Oh, look at that, guys. We are in business. Okay, we cleaned up the rotor. We cleaned up the cap. We drilled our hole a little bigger for this second screw here. So we're going on like this, and we're gonna go ahead and tighten this bottom one a little bit. As soon as I find my driver, and here it is. Okay, and then we need to get our new screw, and as soon as I find where I set it, oh, there it is. There we go. Now we're not going to over torque this guy because we're running him through that hole that we kind of sort of drilled the threads out in a little bit. So we're just gonna snug him down. There. All right, vacuum line is hooked up. We got her split down to both of the ports on the, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Let's go ahead and clip our plug wires back in here. There. Okay, everything should be good. Let's see how this guy runs. Key on. There's our idle. Nope, no change. That's definitely a lean miss. Alright, let's do some more tinkering here. Okay, carb's back off. We are taking the jet back out. This was the jet that originally came in this carb, but the important thing is we drilled it out. It was 044 and we drilled it to 059. I know that's a pretty big step, but those are the only two drills I had that small. So that's what we're doing. I want to see something have some sort of marked effect on how this carburetor is working. So that's what we're trying now. It just seems like even when we're beyond the transitioning point, half throttle, it's starving. It wants more fuel. So that's what we're going to try first and see if it makes a difference. All right, carburetor's back on again. I mean, about 6 minutes I can have this carburetor off. It's, yeah, I'm getting good at it. It's been 8-9 times now. Anyway, there's our idle. Moment of truth. All right, we can deal with this. I might need a little bit more, you guys. Just idle air here just a little bit. Okay, day 3. Getting this thing to where it'll run and drive, hopefully. So carburetor's on. We've rejetted it using the power drill, and it's running way better. However, this was just sat outside overnight and it got down to about 38 degrees or so, and it's gonna need some chokeage to be happy, you know, on the cold starts. And we knew that. So now we're gonna install our fancy farm store choke cable, and these are really nice. Go back, I'll put a tag to it. We did a short little video showing you where to get this really inexpensive but really high quality choke cable. So watch that, go up here. But anyway, I think we're looking for a place to put it. This looks like a good place right here. We've got the carburetor working pretty good, but as you all know, a carburetor running pretty good, dry idling and revving it up without a load on it is one thing. Before we tinker anymore, we've got to get this thing to where it'll drive and we can feel how that new carburetor responds under load and with some speed behind it. Okay, we're gonna eyeball the center of this. Now, I already checked, but one thing, especially when you're putting in choke cables and even switches and stuff, but especially choke cables, when you got this big metal piece that goes behind the dash, reach up in there, make sure you've got that kind of real estate back there, or it might be a disappointing time for you. It's gonna go right to half. There we go. Bootamus. Well, dang it, anyway, we don't get to use our fancy tractor store cable. There's just no way of, you know, you think you got some room here, but all the logical places to mount a choke cable, it interferes with stuff. We tried here in the dash, it's not long enough. We tried down there underneath the shifter, it would interfere with the shifter linkages. And you get over here, you get into wheel well, you got other stuff mounted to the back of this little bulkhead here. So we're gonna go to plan B. We went to the Napa Valley and we got a 9-foot regular, they call it the heavy duty one. It doesn't have the sheathing, but it'll probably be okay. It's got a pretty girthy cable in it here. So we're going back to our dash hole and back to the original plan, and we're gonna get this darn thing on there. Remember, on this carburetor for the choke, we have a ball attachment. We don't have a ball attachment on our cable. So what we're gonna do though is we're gonna line this up about where the cable is gonna lie, and then we're gonna go underneath our ball attachment and we're just going to mark the cable with a Sharpie. I'll pull her back out of here. I'm just going to take a 1/4-inch bolt and we're going to pull from the bottom side of it this time, and we're going to take our wire and we're just going to, as tightly as we can, wrap it in a circle around our 1/4-inch bolt. So you have your circle, and we'll test fit it on our ball attachment. It just slides over now, so that's good. We'll get everything lined up where we like it, and then we'll squeeze on this just a little bit and it won't come off. That's how we're doing that. Okay, watch there. No choke. Choke. We got it? Looks like it. Choke off. I like it. We're good to go. Let's put the fresh air intake back on here. Okay, so I promised you a little bit of redneckery, and I am a person of my word. So we put too big of tires on this thing. They were rubbing here and here and there and there and there and some other places. But we really want to drive this. Gosh darn it. So we went to the Irish parts store and got 2 packages of these. These are rubber coil spring boosters, they call them, spacers. This is supposed to do something like that. And you're supposed to be able to do 2 coils with each one of these packages. So basically 2 on each side. We bought 2 packages just in case we need to do 4 on each side. We're gonna start with 2. We got them side to side here on these coils, and we're gonna start with that, and we'll have to get our other jack and kind of jack this up and put pressure on this and make sure they're gonna stay, and we'll see what kind of lift that gives us, and then we might have to shove some more in there. But we'll start with 2 like the instructions say before we really get redneck science with it. Put them on the same spot in the springs that we did on the other side. One goes there, and one goes here. That should work. Okay, now let's see if we gain any clearances up here when we let this down. Not a ton. Not a ton. But is it enough? We'll have to find out. We might have something here. So we got 3 spring booster spacer things. We did 1.5 packages between the 2 coils. We have 3 in both front coils. And then what we did was we swapped tires. We put the fronts on the backs and the backs on the front because these have a little less shoulder to them, and those are a little meatier. These are a little bit older and pretty weather checked, but you got to do what you got to do. And this is about as good as we've gotten it. We've got, oh, 1/4 inch there. And then on the driver's side, this is where my, weight's got to sit. We're almost a 1/2 inch there. Just rolling it back and forth in the shop, no rubbing. So that's a good enough sign for me. It's dark out. We got headlights, we ain't got no tail lights, but we're gonna try and take this for a little spin. driver. Can you imagine here? Imagine that. Hang on. It works. It works just, well, not great, but it works. Let's get this door shut. Didn't take you long because number one, it's cold. Number two, it's dark, and GoPros don't like either one of those things. But results. It's got very little brakes, even less clutch. But otherwise, ran great. It's got all 4 gears. No horrible noises in the drivetrain, but you can't really use fourth. Third, it'll catch and it'll grab just a little bit. Fourth gear, it just, the engine just spins. It won't even try to pull you in fourth gear. The clutch is gone. So, a couple things. We're gonna need a clutch, and then we're gonna need, you know, take a look at the front end and the rear ends. We need to look at the, I haven't even looked in the lubrication system of the drivetrain yet, guys and gals. But we're gonna check all that out. But now we know that we've got a pretty good egg to go ahead and start to invest in. So yes, clutch. We'll check the front axle, the rear axle, the transfer case. We'll do some more cleaning on it, and probably need to start looking for a lift kit so we can get it off the wheels and tires, and then a better set of wheels and tires for it. And then of course Jalen's going to do the dump bed project. Okay, I hope you got something out of that. I apologize you didn't get to see the actual install. Was kind of the coolest part. But we had to bend this bracketry out of the way of the bell housing and the block here. We've got a choke cable that's, you know, kind of rednecked, but works just fine. Throttle cable works just fine, and then we're down a whole bunch of vacuum lines. So yeah, Daihatsu Hijet Mini Trucks running like a champ. We've got lots of surprises because we've got some interior work to do. We maybe have some wheels and tires coming for it on the cheap. Clutch stuff. Jalen's got a project coming on it. All kinds of good stuff. And then, you know, we got the rest of our junk as well. As always, we appreciate each and every one of you guys and gals watching. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next video.